Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to 80 Days, in which I think will be our last leg of the journey. We are down here in southern North America. We're headed down towards Texas. I think we're going to skip Houston, go through Dallas to New Orleans, Atlanta, Washington, New York, and of course across the Atlantic, which we still have yet to figure out how we're accomplishing this feat. Problem is, we've got only 10 days to get the rest of the way. We're going to give it our valiant effort, but I have a strong feeling that this wager we made, this bet that Fogg made in his hometown in London is going to fall flat, but we're going to give it our all. Maybe there's going to be some miraculous flying machine or something that'll cut several days off. Alright. We boarded the Texas and Pacific Railway, a decent stretch of railroad by all accounts which joined west coast to south. It lacked the speed of an airship, but at least it was reasonably comfortable. Let's talk. Greetings, Madame Mixon. Can I help you? What about Albuquerque to Dallas? One can travel this way to Dallas, I understand. Speaking of trains, I understand Atlanta can be reached from Miami aboard the Florida East Coast Railway. I think I already knew that, though. What about... Is there any other option? Doesn't look like it. What about Dallas to Houston? Speaking of trains, I understand my uncle designed parts for the Western Atlantic Railroad from Chicago to Atlanta. Okay. I guess tell me about... I'm gonna try Houston to New Orleans. Keep talking. Okay. I've been told one can travel in a hired carriage from Houston to New Orleans. Keep talking. Okay, I guess I'll keep talking. What about New Orleans to Washington? Well, I mean, that's Washington. That's West Coast, not... I'm thinking of Washington, D.C. is what I'm thinking of. You realize the most efficient way to Washington from here is through New Orleans. Which is interesting, because it's like, what, it's going to take us back? Let's try Washington, New York. Is that so? I have no idea. I'm asking you. You're a conductor. Let's try Caracas. Have you heard that some buyers will pay well for top hats from Caracas? Okay, but I don't really care about payment at this point. At this point, I just need to get home. What about New York to Miami? I don't know, but collectors in Ponta Delgado will pay fantastic amounts for skyscraper blueprints from Miami. Interesting. So we've got a route from Chicago to Atlanta now. And from Miami to Atlanta. So both directions I'm not planning on going, but we're just gonna go with it. The first stretch of the railroad ran through the empty deserts of northern Mexico. I kept my eyes peeled for bandits and wagons, but saw nothing. No settlements, no people, nothing but the discarded picks and huts left over from the construction of the railroad itself. The train pulled jauntily into Albuquerque station, and we clambered onto the concourse with no small curiosity as to what we found in this curious, isolated settlement. I wonder if we can just get right on the next train. What's our next? Departs in 2 days. You are joking me. What does this do? It doesn't... Oh, we are not. Man, this is not working out in our favor. Let me... Do we have anything... False passport. What do we do with that? Name of Jack Passenger. I don't think that's going to help us right now. It's going to be valuable, but again, money is not going to matter if we can't bloody afford... Okay, go back? No. How do I get... There we go. Explore. Let's see if there's any other options we can take. Albuquerque was a curious mixture, a town of electric streetcars and railroads, but also a town of gunslingers, saloons, and honky-tonk variety shows. It was a town of fringe excitements. As such, Monsieur Fogg and I were somewhat out of place. Faces appeared at windows as we passed by. The chink of spurs on veranda floors met us at every corner. A few jeered, and a few laughed, The population of this mountain settlement were mostly Mexican and kept in hand by one Sheriff Perfecto Armijo, whom we encountered as he did his rounds of the local watering holes. "You're the Europeans everyone's been talking about," he declared, striding over, thick mustache bristling impressively. This is Monsieur Phileas Fogg," I declared, introducing my master with a flourish. He tipped his hat at my master. "An English gentleman, no less. There's some who dislike the English, but myself, I figure your money's as good as any others. Keep yourself clean in my town now." He strode away, gun belt hanging from his hips, star on his shirt. I must admit to being somewhat impressed by his manner. You would hardly see the Chief Justice of London walking around the city telling its populace to abide by the laws. Still, his arrival had hushed the crowd, and they picked up the vigor only slowly after his departure. Oh, gosh, that's really all we got, is to get to Dallas. It departs in 2 days. We are so screwed. Not to be a downer, but there's no way we're getting home in 9 days. Alright. Sleep the night. That evening I was approached by a big tanned man with sharp little eyes and a holster hanging open at his waist. I greeted him politely, and he came up close until he was barely a foot away. "Name's Yarbury," he declared, sticking his hands onto his hips. He reshuffled his gun belt a little. "Is there something I can do for you?" "Good of you to ask." The stranger leant one arm against the wall, blocking me in. "Now, don't be in a hurry, or you'll miss the best things in life." He opinioned in a drawl. "To what are you referring?" I asked. The stranger reached up to scratch his nose with his free hand. "There's a little thing I'm wanting, and I think you could help me get it. It's a simple matter." "I must return to my master." "Of course you must," he replied. "And with all your money in your pocket, too, don't worry yourself." Turning his head briefly, he nodded towards a saloon across the way. "In there are 3 Mexicans playing a card game. They're drunk and angry and broke. All I want you to do is walk in there and get them to rob you." "But, monsieur, I do not wish to be robbed." "You get in there," the man growled, leaning close enough for me to smell the whiskey on his breath, "or I'll rob you myself." I looked into his eyes and fancied I saw inside a good soul, so I nodded. "I do not understand. I do not understand, monsieur." "You do not need to understand," he answered quietly, reaching down to remove his gun from his holster. "You just need to do as I've asked and be sharp about it." The man lifted his arm to release me. I stumbled away across the path, gasping for breath. I swallowed my pride and ran for it. Behind me, I heard the man cursing and swearing, but he was quickly lost from view. A few minutes later, I heard 3 shots echo through the streets. What it meant, I do not know. Oh my gosh. I returned to my master like a scalded dog, and did not leave his sight again until we were free of Albuquerque. 3 shots. So he, killed the men in the place? Yikes. Alright, arrives tomorrow. Let's see if we can negotiate. Maybe they can leave today. Yeah, let's do that. 9 a.m. I mean, that doesn't change anything. Thoroughly ungentlemanly behavior. Weird. Okay. Oh, wait. It's ready now. Heck. Awesome. Let's do this. How did I swing that? I guess I had a top hat, so we managed to push it on. We rejoined the Texas and Pacific Railway for the next stretch of our journey. Just as the train was preparing to leave, however, it was whistled to a halt by someone outside. The guard stepped down and began talking to someone on the platform. I looked out of the window and saw to my horror none other than Monsieur Yarbury, the man who had so shaken me previously. Oh, gosh. I tried to hear what the argument with the guard was about, but could only make out a few details. It appeared he was looking for someone. Then, with a gasp of relief, the guard blew his whistle once more, and the train whistled. We began to chuff away down the track, and I slowly relaxed into my seat. Of course, a few minutes later, the compartment door opened, and there was Monsieur Yarberry. I snatched my master's newspaper from him and held it over my face, much to Monsieur Fogg's clear horror. Yarberry stood in the doorway, looking this way and that. "I'm the new Marshal of Albuquerque," he declared. "I'm looking for an escaped outlaw." Monsieur Fogg answered him. "You will find no outlaws here, my good man." "If you see them," Yarberry continued, touching his gun gently, "you let me know. I'll be riding this line as far as Dallas." Marshal! It was quite certain he had not been wearing a badge when I had seen him first. I returned the paper with the feeble excuse of having seen a headline about airships from Washington, though I do not think my master believed me. Dang it. So, I don't like that. So now he thinks that he's looking for a fugitive. Why? Because I didn't help him kill some people? That doesn't make any sense. I feel like I should wait. Fogg Valet Dapper full report. What? Why am I being tracked now all of a sudden for stuff? Oh, come on. Get to Dallas. Get to Dallas. Oh, God. That day I attended to my master with full attention, and all thoughts of outlaws, yarberries, and gunslingers flew from my mind on the wings of a well-waxed mustache. A most pleasant day's travel was had by both man and gentleman. The railroad turned from east to south at Dallas, where we disembarked, much to my relief. Thank goodness. We evaded something there. Alright, get to the market. We need to sell off the Smith and Western. Western. Yes. I don't think I need a available Atlanta, New Orleans. Part of the Railwayman set. Part of the Railwayman set. I think I am going to New Orleans, so I'm just going to go for the extra suitcase, and let's just go for Railwayman set, because why not? I don't need the false passport. Alright, let's get out of here so that we can see if I can actually embark today, if I'm lucky enough. Departs in 3 days. Let's see if we can push this. The Railwayman's uniform should yield results. Okay. No charge tomorrow. The ticket will require... Okay, excellent. Let's do this. I didn't know we could push these all this time. That's so awesome. Okay, cool. So arrives... departs tomorrow, arrives Saturday. So let's go ahead and sleep on it. Pass the night here. It's a frantic dash to try and make it home in 7 days. I saw a strange sight on the streets of Dallas. A group of white ghosts drifting around the corner of a building, one carrying a torch of flame. Ooh, unfortunately, I think I know who these ghosts are. I watched them until they were out of sight and felt a chill that gripped the base of my spine and would not let go. The city has a curse on it, and I wanted nothing but to leave as soon as we could. Ugh, that's awful. Alright, let's get the heck out of here. Embark. The luggage rack has space for 4. Let's do this. Once again, we boarded the Texas and Pacific Railway for our final hop to the south coast of America. I am at your service, Monsieur Fogg. My excellent valet. How are we doing on money? We are very well funded indeed. You have made some excellent decisions. What about, do you learn anything in our paper about what might help in New Orleans? You have to visit New Orleans if you like jazz. What about Havana? You might be interested that you could buy Cuban cigars in Havana that will sell for a fortune in Ponta Delgada. Cool. But I don't think we're going to Havana? I don't know. This stretch of track was unremarkable. I passed the time eavesdropping, hoping to find options for our next leg, and I picked up from a nervous Irish soldier that the Haitians in Panama City have some of the fastest aircraft in the world, but these strange ships have feathers. We entered the evening, and the coastline became visible, and we entered the heady surroundings of New Orleans. So relations have strengthened slightly. Unfortunately, Panama City is way to the south of us, so there's no point in going way to the south just to hopefully get faster air travel. I don't think that's gonna help us. If I'm lucky, New York will have air travel. All right, let's sell the leather braces. Wax cylinder, Chicago, Houston, Atlanta. We're going through Atlanta. Let's buy another one of those. Worth in New York. We're going to New York. Let's do this. Oh, come on. Do come on. Oh, no. Oh, dang it. What happened? Did I lose the... Dang it, the market closed. Alright. Atlanta. The Piedmont airline departs for Atlanta in 2 days. I don't know, maybe we can get this. Railman's uniform? No charge tomorrow. Okay, we're pushing we're pushing all these things. I don't know if our luck will run out, but it's good that I know now that I can actually negotiate sooner departure times if I have the right hat or attire or whatnot. So I'm gonna sleep. Wait, what time does it leave? Let's make sure that I'm not gonna miss it. 11 a.m. So I got a little bit of time in the morning. I'll sleep, try to mark it, and then get out of here by 11. I met death in a... Wait, what? I met death in a smoke-wreathed, red-lit bar in New Orleans as the jazz band struck up another tune. He offered to buy me a bourbon. Maybe perhaps in another 20 or 30 years, I replied archly as some of the other patrons snickered. Death pulled off his mask to reveal handsome cafe au lait features and dark green eyes, and then extended a skeletal hand to me. A fine costume, I remarked. Merci, monsieur. I am Death at our neighborhood Mardi Gras, and I am practicing my role. He took my proffered hand and brought the back of it to his lips for a gallant kiss. He flicked me a rather unmistakable look under his dark lashes. I returned his look with one of my own, and he let my fingers slip slowly through his. You must call me Octave, monsieur. I am Passepartout. I dipped my head slightly. An appellation as well as a burden. Then I will choose another for you, he decided, with a slanted grin. A special name for you and me tonight. Laurent, for you look a bit like a Laurent. Laurent and Octave, I agreed with a slow smile. They sound an intriguing pair. Monsieur, Octave told me he was a free person of color now. I was aghast to realize he had been a slave before the Civil War, and indeed still worked as a servant for the very same family. How can you do it? Are you not vengeful? I demanded, trying to imagine myself in his place. He sighed heavily. Young Claude is a horror, and Alette, little brother... and Alette, little better. But little Henry is still a sweet child. He carted a hand through his thick black hair. They are my half-siblings through their papa. Whoa. Then he is your papa as well, I said with dawning horror. Ah, I would not say that, he corrected gently. He may have sired me, but he was my owner, and not a father to me. It is a horror I cannot imagine, I shuddered. Then your life has been an easy one, eh? His eyes flashed with anger. I joined the 1st Louisiana Native Guards Regiment after New Orleans was captured by the Union. I still wake up some mornings, not sure if I am alive or dead. You are alive, I reassured him, reaching out for his shoulder. Octave wiped the anger from his expression with the ease of long practice and smiled a slow, dazzling smile. You look sad, monsieur. What a fool I am to confess these things to you, when would I much rather see you smile? A confession can be cathartic. Oh, monsieur. His smile turned wicked. Would you absolve me if I confessed my sins? You are incorrigible, monsieur. You must leave a trail of broken hearts behind you. You are toying with me, monsieur, he laughed dramatically. I am utterly in your thrall. An intriguing notion, to have death in my thrall. Alas, the hour had grown late, and we had to part. Octave walked me upriver to the border of the garden district where Monsieur Fogg had taken lodgings, amongst the American parvenus. The moon shone down on the Mississippi, and Octave leaned towards me. Ooh, and we kissed, right there on the riverbank. He tasted of bourbon in dark nights, and I will say no more of it here. A man, even one such as I, must have his secrets. Octave will be one of them. I think of him often when I think of New Orleans. Wow, look at you, Passepartout. beguiling all the ladies all along, and now all of a sudden you've found a little romance in New Orleans with a man, with death himself. All right. Oh gosh. Okay. Market opens. That's right. I almost got distracted there. Market opens. We're gonna. I can't remember if we're gonna buy or sell. We're just doing something, and then we're gonna depart immediately.